Hi, Jen here from jenmichellecoaching.com, and today I want to talk about how to get comfortable with uncertainty. I get a lot of questions on how to strengthen the ability to live in the unknown, to live in the gray. And so in this video, I want to help give you some ways to ground yourself and root yourself in certainty so you can handle that beautiful balance that, can show up for us between certainty and uncertainty. For those of you new to my channel, I would love to invite you to subscribe. I release a video Sundays of each week. So when we think of uncertainty, a lot of times the number one emotion that shows up is fear, because living in the unknown creates a very visceral experience for many of us. And so when a woman is trying to live in the gray, meaning she's just surrendering and letting go and releasing control over the things that she just doesn't have control over, the first thing I invite her to do is really move into a state of curiosity and wonder. It's so much kinder and gentler than fear. Because if we can go deeper and experience our emotions and meet them with a level of curiosity, we start to face what is. And so what we had sort of shut in the closet stops seeping out of the cracks in those really strange, inconvenient times where we're not even sure where it came from, because we are steadily doing practices that allow us to meet ourselves right where we are and to be with those emotions and trust that we can handle them, really strengthening our tolerance of what we can feel, meaning we're not just shutting the door on any uncomfortable emotion, but we're actually building that resiliency and tolerance to know that, hey, I can get through this. I don't have to create or do a bunch of stuff because I feel uncomfortable. I have the ability to sit with it and trust that when I'm calm and when I'm centered, I'll be able to come up with a really beautiful next step or solution, because I will have allowed my intuition and the higher wisdom of the universe to give guidance versus taking action out of survival mode or going into that fight, flight, or freeze response that really puts limitations on good, high quality solutions for us. Deepen your intuition by being in your body and getting out of the head. So when we feel uncertainty, the ego can kick in really strong and give us all kinds of potential scenarios, usually worst case scenarios, because our survival instincts are getting so activated. So the solution comes, a high quality solution comes when we can break out of our head and just be in our body. I've had some of my clients come up with the most beautiful, creative solutions, new information coming in when they've given themselves permission to move into their body. And that can look like anything that makes you feel your best, or anything that allows you to nudge yourself closer to a happier, more certain state that you're cultivating from within. If you find that you're the type of person that stays in the head, rolling around potential outcomes, recycling information that, is just old and tired, or based in fear of, old belief systems or old experiences, it's so important to give yourself permission to move into body, connecting to your breath, quieting that narrative, doing things that are physical or, just joyful for you, and letting a solution come from that space. And this just means giving yourself permission to say, hey, I can leave my head for a little bit. Give yourself permission to leave your head 20, 30 minutes, and then see how you feel and continue to build off of that process. It tends to go a little bit better when we give it a time limit versus just saying we're not going to think about that, but giving yourself a specific time frame and then checking in with yourself to see how you feel as you practice being in body. Number 3, ground yourself in the familiar. What can you control? What are the things in your life that you have full control over? Because if we're feeling a lot of uncertainty, it would make sense to counterbalance that with certainty. But we want the certainty that we create to come from ourselves, not from trying to manage the external, because of course that only creates more resistance and more stress in the body. So, what are some things that you can ground yourself in that give you a sense of peace, that give you a sense of ritual, that give you a sense of knowing that you can turn to and offer comforts in times where other areas are turbulent? And that can look like just having a very specific and set morning routine. That can look like certain things you count on every evening when you're unwinding and wrapping up the day. It can be certain passages, certain inspiration that you turn to create that anchor within, so you're not trying to play puppeteer or manage the external, knowing that at the end of the day, it's like a game of whack-a-mole where you solve one and another issue pops up whenever we're putting our focus on the things that we don't ultimately have the final say on. So really directing that attention towards yourself and cultivating ways you can feel a sense of certainty deep within to balance some of the challenges you're facing when conquering your relationship with uncertainty. If this is helpful to you, I would love for you to check out my site, jenmichellecoaching.com. I have a group program, digital programs, as well as individual coaching that you can explore. I also have blogs and my magnetic sensitivity free guide. Please visit jenmichellecoaching.com, and I look forward to connecting with you all soon.